Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Madeline and I'm the owner of Basswood Beauty where I make skincare items. I sell mostly on Etsy. Gosh, I've been selling on Etsy since like 2013. I started off selling other items and eventually went into skincare mainly tinted lip balms, which you're going to see a lot on here. But I'm starting with grinding the roses for my lip scrub, my rose lip scrub. And you'll see me pouring that as well as my rose salve, which are pretty big sellers for me actually. And I love making them. And you'll see further along where I have sort of revived my labels. But none of these products have made their way onto my website or my Etsy lately because, yeah, I've just had a lot going on. And I thought I would just share some small business issues that I've been having, some encouragement, big changes in my life. And this was just an easy way for me to record my work without having those background noises. I can't really do a tutorial type video at this point, and you'll see my camera's very shaky because I still have not figured out how to anchor it down. So I apologize for all the shaky video, but yeah. So I'd like to start with actually the disappointments that I've encountered this year. There's some big ones, at least for me. These are just my small business thoughts in hopes that this encourages you or just gets a conversation started about running a small business. So, my first one started in January, and I had sold some teas. I had started selling, I think, in the summer of last year because we were doing a few farmers markets, and I thought, well, teas would be a great farmers market item. And they actually were, and we sold quite a few. My husband actually got really into it because he is a chef and he sold them really well. He's definitely a salesman and a chef. So that was really helpful. He was really good at explaining the teas, and then we would have samples out, and they just sold really well. So then we also sold them at some holiday markets and they did really well there as well. The next we had a 2-day market and that night I was making more teas. That morning I was making more teas for the second day and we sold out of every single one like by noon and the show wasn't over until like 3 or 4. So that was really exciting. But in January I was like, "You know what? I need to just double check things." I approached my insurance and I said, I want to make sure you cover salves, lip scrubs, because I know that they cover lip balms. And I also was experimenting with facial skincare again. So I'm like, do you cover mists and serums and then I threw in teas at the bottom, which I kind of knew that they don't cover because they don't list that, but I just thought, hey, I better double check. So they came back and actually said that my insurance would be ineligible if I sold teas, meaning it doesn't even matter if I put another name under my LLC, like a DBA, because they're covering all of it. And so they said, teas are out of the question. You have to start like a separate name, separate business for that. Well, definitely this year, as you'll see, I do not have the time to do that. Maybe later, but neither does my husband. Because 'cause I'm like, "Well, I would love to start, like, a tea and maybe spice business on the side with my husband, just with his, culinary experience. That would be amazing." But yeah, just that was a really big blow because the teas were doing so well, and I had all these plans to put them on my site and promote them, and I've just been hearing such great feedback on them. So that I have to set aside, which is probably a good thing in a way because I just have a lot of other things going on, and that's just one less item I need to worry about right now. But I had really tried to incorporate the teas into what I make. Like they all had a base of linden, which is basswood leaf, which is the name of my company, and I'm just so bummed that I couldn't incorporate it. But I have some other ideas, and we'll just keep moving forward. The other like really big blow, which happened, so that happened in January, and then in February, I finally was like, I need to approach this wholesale customer. I really only talk to them like twice a year. They're right in my hometown, and they had asked when I had originally set myself up with them to be like exclusive to them in my hometown. So I have never approached anybody else to sell my items. And here they want to downsize and they're like, "We have a few of your items left, but yeah, we're not we're not going to restock with you this year." And I don't know. I knew that my items never really did like incredibly well there because they only would put like one big order in at the beginning of the year. But uh, I don't know. It was just still like a blow to me. My I don't want to put like my self-worth in that and everything, but it was still just a disappointment. I only have two wholesale customers. I mean, I'm very tiny. And that is something I want to try to work on this year if I can, is approaching trying to get more wholesale customers. But yeah, that was a big disappointment for sure. And then another one that was just a small disappointment is just again, that is why I'm sort of experimenting with this type of video, is because I was trying to make sort of a instructional video of making a candle. Well, the candle really did not turn out well at all. It does burn, but barely. It's a beeswax candle. Again, that's something I was like thinking of maybe doing tutorials on. That's another item that would not be covered under my current insurance, and you would need to probably have a separate business for that as well. So that's not a route that I will be going down anytime soon. And especially since my candles did not turn out well. But it's just really hard for me to do like an instructional video or talk through video while I'm making products. My lighting in the basement is terrible. I have not invested in lighting yet, and or cameras for that matter. And so I'm just trying to see what I can do with the limited resources that I do have. So we'll see how this video goes and comes together. But yeah, that was kind of a disappointment because I had filmed quite a bit of footage and I actually just deleted it all because I didn't even want to look at it. It's just too disappointing on how it all came together. The second topic I'd like to approach are big changes coming this year, mainly just for myself and like personal changes and how that will affect my small business. The biggest one being that I'm pregnant and I'm due in April, and I've been trying to keep it on the down low because I just really I feel I don't this is probably inaccurate, but I just felt like sometimes when people let you know that they're pregnant, that their business is going to slow down. And I didn't want that to hinder people from buying from me or expecting items from me or thinking, I'm going to shut my shop down for months at a time. I plan to continue to do this because part of it is an income for me, and part of it gives me sanity. So, it's an outlet for me. So I do actually rely on it a lot for just creativity and sanity in my mind. Something that I can go and do for myself. But if you had watched my earlier videos back in like August, September, I believe, was when I was first found out that I was pregnant and I was extremely sick. And I basically spent that whole time in bed. And now I'm struggling with anemia, and I should hopefully get that under control before baby arrives. But it's definitely affecting my mood and my energy levels, and thus affecting how much I can really spend on the small business with just life in general on the other side, trying to keep up with, family and family stuff and home stuff. I have 2 girls, and, um, you know, children take up a lot of time, especially with just the combination of my oldest having been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes last year, and really walking through that, and then having to now walk through it with an infant as well, because type 1 diabetes is almost like a 24/7 disease that takes your attention 24/7. There really is never a resting point. When she is at school, I know she's in really good hands with the nurse, and it does give me some peace of mind, and I can kind of sometimes try to, like, let it go, but I follow her blood sugar on my phone, and so I can see if she's going low or high, and it's like having an infant or a baby. Like, what are their needs? What do they need right now? Um, because she just turned 12 in November, and she is doing incredibly well and taking on so much responsibility, um, with all the just changing out devices and calculating her carbs and all the little things that go with diabetes. So she's done incredible, and I'm super proud of her, but it still occupies my mind, pretty much 24/7. Even at night, through the night, if I get an alarm in the middle of the night, or like my husband got an Amber Alert, you're like, "What is that? What is that? Is that Olivia's, alarm going off? Do we need to check on her?" So there's a lot of, I just don't know how that's gonna play in with having an infant as well. It's gonna be a big, big change, but I wanna keep working on my business because I'm like, I need that for my sanity, but I just don't know how it's gonna affect my entire year as far as, does that mean I won't be able to do any shows? Will I be able to get to the holiday shows? My holiday shows were my biggest income for last year. I think people really wanted to get out and shop, and I hope that they want to this year as well, even if I can't make it to the shows, because of course I want my fellow creators to do well, um, this year. But yeah, I just those are things that are occupying my mind at this time, and I don't know how that's gonna look. I'm trying to do as much as I can right now to be caught up so that I can take a few weeks off and not worry about things. But at the same time, I have no idea what it's going to look like. Um, so yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what changes that brings. Lastly, I want to talk about steps that I'm trying to take to better my business. The big one that I really, really I've wanted to do this for years is, and I really wanted to do it this year, and now just with the baby coming, like, right around the corner, I don't know if it'll work out, but I really wanted to reformulate my lip balms and work with a formulator on this. I don't like how if they experience extreme heat or extreme cold that they get kind of grainy. I know why I use avocado butter, and I think that's the main culprit, but not all of my lip balms do. My Mother's Kiss and my Sweet Refreshments, they're actually coconut oil based and they do not get grainy at all. But yeah, a lot of my tinted ones do over time get grainy, which is just the nature of doing all natural ingredients. But I wanted to work with a formulator this year and revise that and just try to get it to be a really excellent formula. And then I thought I could maybe commit to working on fair and approaching more wholesale accounts, really honing down my items, having core products, and that's just a like a dream of mine that I am feel like I'm continually trying to grasp for and just struggling to reach. I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult, but for some reason, a lot of my business stuff gets pushed to the side just because of my daughter, and then being pregnant, we have a lot of medical issues going on and medical bills and a lot of other things that I need to keep up with that take precedence over my business at this point. So, yeah, some of these things get pushed to the side, but I do have written out goals for the year. One that I have accomplished, sort of, is opening a Shopify. Um, Not sure yet how I feel about it. I'm just kind of in the trial period, and I put up just to download items, and I plan to try to get up all my items on there. But I've definitely been putting that off, trying to make the time to do that. So, yeah, so it hasn't really been going anywhere significant yet, but I do have plans to get my items up there, and it shouldn't be actually very difficult because they do sync with Etsy. So everything should carry over, and I would just maybe need to make some tweaks. And then it would be just trying to figure out the shipping costs and setting all of that up. But I did actually set up the actual shop, and it is live and in order. And so I am happy about making that first step, and I'm happy with how it looks and how it's set up. So that's all very great. And then I think the other one would be YouTube. I've actually really, really enjoyed creating videos. It's been a very relaxing experience, whereas Instagram, trying to create TikToks and Reels was always very, not always, but just more on the stressful side. And then, people would see it for a few minutes and it would disappear. I like the long form content and searchable content of YouTube. I'm definitely a YouTube girly. Like, I am always on YouTube listening to podcasts or just listening to videos. I don't even have to watch them. I just like listening to them in the background. And I feel like I'm usually learning something, whereas a TikTok or a reel is just a real quick grab your attention real quick, and it's such a little small snippet. I don't really feel like I'm gaining anything from it. So, but that's just me. That's my approach. So this has been fun, and I want to continue to prioritize this as well. Um, I just think it's been a great, um, maybe not asset to my business as of yet because I'm so small, but it's actually been just a really great experience and something I want to continue putting some effort into. So I just want to end this video on a few encouraging notes, things that encouraged me this year so far. I got to participate in a giveaway with my friend Serena. She owns Rome Wild Naturals and she makes the most incredible tallow whips and balms. They are just beautiful and so luxurious for your skin. If you're looking for something that's gonna soak in quickly to your skin and not leave a greasy feeling, tallow is a great alternative to, like, a beeswax or butter-based type of product. But yeah, actually, I gained quite a few followers on Instagram through that, and that was just very encouraging because I haven't seen growth in a few years just because I'm not investing as much time into Instagram due to my previous thoughts on YouTube and all that. Just that it's kind of a waste of time, I feel. I spent one whole year, like, making a reel almost every day and just didn't see the growth I wanted to see, so and then the other was that I got an order. I mean, I get orders from friends and family and, like, local orders quite frequently, but this one was just very special. She was just such an encouragement and a blessing. She put in a really big order, and she gave me this really sweet card, which I'm gonna show you here, and it had such a good message, that just really spoke to me in this time. The message was, "Your season is just beginning, not ending." I know that I'm going to be having a baby, and that is like new life and new beginning, but last year was such a hard year, and then just with these kind of big disappointments with my small business and the other challenges that are just continuing from last year into this year, I feel pretty drained and like keep thinking that, like, when is this all going to end? But this message was really encouraging. It's like, no, new things are coming, and I have to continually put my faith and trust in the Lord. My faith is a huge part of my life, and I'm so grateful that my life is in His hands and that He has a plan and a purpose for me, and that this isn't the ending, this is the beginning. Um, so I hope that encourages you if you are going through some difficult times. I really, really appreciate you watching this video. I hope it was sort of soothing, and please, if you have a small business, leave your thoughts below if you can relate at all to any of these thoughts or feelings. And if not, I hope you enjoy just watching a little bit of behind the scenes of me pouring lip balms and spilling the lip balm all over. Don't worry, I cleaned that all up. And making herbal infusions for my products. And I will hopefully have all these products up next month, if not this month. And we'll let you know when that is all available. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.